Hello, adventurers, and welcome to the MNmaxed podcast. We want to thank you for joining us, and you do so as we continue our journey into the Fall of Plaguestone and Pathfinder Second Edition. The recap. Session 1. We're in a caravan with Bort the Dwarf on our way to Andoran. We're making a stop off in Etrin's Folly, aka Plaguestone, a town people seem to think is kinda shit. Along the way, some wolves make a bad decision. Turns out the wolves are led by a plague wolf of sorts who was an absolute abomination. It sprayed acid at us all and plumb went down. However, via a heal from Vorn, he was able to not die. Through much bravery and violence, the wolves were defeated. Bort offers to buy dinner that night. Plum hopes there will be rum. Miklik seems satisfied with raw wolf meat.
After you guys get back on the road, it doesn't take more than, say, an hour to get to where you're going. As you roll in to Etrin's Folly, you notice that the town seems very quiet. There are not many people. In fact, the houses that are here and the buildings are looking kind of run down, looking a little dilapidated. You're coming in from the north side of town, and from what you can tell, the whole first neighborhood that you run across, there are no inhabitants in any of the houses on the north side of town. As you start getting a little farther south in, you start seeing more people and some houses that are under a little bit better repair. Etrin's Folly is a very small town. A village would be a better way to put it, I think. I'm going to share with my party here the map for Etrin's Folly. As you're rolling into town, you see fields off to the left of the road. You're looking at what look like... Can I get a nature check from anybody?
I can do that.
Yes, I can as well. I didn't realize I could earlier.
24.
22.
Both Vorn and Plum, as you could run and are rolling past all of the fields, they're all turnip fields. That's
boring.
Definitely the primary food source as far as the fields are concerned for Etrin's Folly here.
Good old turnip farmers.
Looking at this map, the town really isn't a very big town, and there's a lot of field space.
Yeah,
These guys get a lot of turnips.
I mean,
easily 3 times the size of the town.
Easily. They're all. This is a farming community for sure. If you guys kind of notice on the map, for people at home, they're basically one road that goes straight through Etrin's Folly from north to south, and then there's some side streets with some houses. Right in the middle of the main thoroughfare going through Etrin's Folly, you guys see this low stone. It's about 2 feet tall. It's got a hollowed out bowl, or more like a slot in the top of the stone, and then on the side of the stone is like a rounded bowl, and it's covered with moss, and it doesn't look like whatever it is hasn't been used in a long time. You end up shortly after getting to the feed mill, it's called. The feed mill is the local tavern, inn, general store. This is the main business in town. If you guys kind of take a look around, this seems like really it's the only business in town. Bort's and the drivers, they go straight into the stables, and there's a little halfling woman there, and she hops up out of one of the stables as you all join in. Bort, welcome back. And she goes straight for the horses, and she starts petting the horses' flanks, and they seem comfortable with her, like she's tended to the horses here before. Bort definitely hits Etrin's Folly as he travels back and forth between the 2 capital cities here. And Bort goes, I am going to be visiting some customers, and to you all he says, get yourselves a mug of ale on me, and you just enjoy yourselves before I get back, and we'll have our dinner shortly after I return.
I immediately go do that. Except, I ask if there's rum.
Don't ask me. You'll talk to the You talk to the mistress inside.
I go do that.
What does everybody else do?
I'll definitely go get a drink.
If it's free booze, Miklik's in.
Nicklick likes free booze.
Alcohol? I'll drink alcohol.
Better than your fermented apples you've been having.
Yeah, when I go into the tavern, what do I see? What kind of sight falls in front of my eyes?
As you walk into the tavern, it's very quiet in the tavern right now. There's really only one patron that you can see, and you see the staff. There's somebody working behind the bar. It's behind the bar. It's a female human. You see a large woman with an apron around her, dark skin, nice hair in a bun. She's obviously the cook. And then there's a couple of servers who right now are just kind of cleaning up and prepping for the day. And then there's a goblin that's there, looking really like skittish looking, as the goblin goes up to the one patron that's there. And he says, Hollad, can I get you anything else? And Hollad slams his fist on the table and says, get me another fucking ale, Finnick. And waves off the goblin. And the goblin, okay, Hollad, okay. And just scurries off back to behind the bar. And as soon as you guys walk in, you get approached by a woman who is behind the bar. She stops what she's doing immediately and, visitors. And she goes over to you all.
As soon as she approaches, Miklik sticks out his hand. Me, Miklik, who are you? And he just flashes just this huge, toothy smile, and you can see his like jagged teeth, and he's still like
covered in blood.
He's still covered in like dried blood, like some dried acid.
I
He's still like bleeding out of some wounds.
You guys didn't like clean off at anything in the hour ride that you had back?
I would like to point out also really quick that as soon as Miklik was very brave and killed that big wolf, I removed the light from his nose.
Oh, that was so nice of you. God, I should have had him. You should have had the dazzled condition the entire fight.
Nah,
That's right.
Super cheap way to get it in real combat.
Completely forgot you even did that to him.
Yeah, he was busy.
The proprietor she kind of leans down a little bit and she shakes your hand. She says, I'm Delma Fulst. Nice to meet you, Miklik. You look very tired and travel-weary. In fact, you all look very tired and travel-weary. Could I offer you some clean clothes?
Baths?
Could I offer you some baths?
Drink.
Miklik wants a drink.
Do you have rum?
No. We have a turnip-based ale.
A turnip-based ale? Is it any
Yes.
good?
Oh, I think it's fantastic, yes.
Well, I'll take one of those, and why don't you have somebody draw me a bath there, lass?
Of course. Right away. Your name?
Oh, my name is Plum Pargeter, miss, and I'll try and surreptitiously cast some cleaning spells on my goblin friend here, but he's really a kind soul.
I see. He was very polite, yes. Thank you. And how about the rest of your companions?
Take an ale.
Take an ale?
That's all. Bring me two.
Two ales for the
Don't worry about bath.
Right. No bath? Are you sure?
I'm just as dirty as Miklik, if not.
She goes to extend her hand to you, and she gets close enough to sniff, and then she just kind of like pulls it back. Ooh.
I try to convince my traveling companion that a bath would be awesome for him.
Why?
You smell foul.
Miklik looks at you and goes, no rain.
How do I bet?
The small goblin male who is serving the large guy scuttles back over to him and kind of places the drink on his high top table. He goes up on his tippy toes, puts it on the table, and he looks down and he goes, You could have been faster, Finnick. My mouth is going dry. Leave me be, you tiny little fuck. And he smacks Finnick in the top of the head. And Finnick, oh, sorry, Hollad, and scurries away.
Miklik immediately approaches him, sticks out his hand. Me, Miklik, who are you?
He looks down at you. I'm ignoring you. Goes back to his drink. And then Delma kind of like walks over to, oh, Miklik, Hala, don't worry, I'll gather, thank you. And he kind of like she puts her hand on your back, Miklik, and goes, I will make sure to get that ale for you right away. We've got a beautiful table on the other side of the bar here that I'll easily have you all go down. Finnick, and then yes, mistress. Please draw up a bath for our... What's your name again?
Plum.
For Plum here. Please. And Finnick goes, oh yeah, of course, mistress. And he scurries away. She goes, and I'll make sure to have your drinks up right away. You can please have a seat over here.
I go have a seat where she told me to go have a seat.
I'll do the same, but I also want to ask what they have for food. What are they serving tonight?
Tonight's dinner.
Turnips.
Yes. In fact, how did you know?
Turnip wine, turnip food.
I'd like some sort of meat with my turnips.
Oh, yes, we have wild game as well, yes.
What kind of wild game?
Hens, mostly.
I don't know if I've ever eaten a hen.
Well, then you're in for a treat. Amora cooks up fantastic wild game.
I'm down.
Wonderful. Dinner will be ready shortly. We're going to be serving dinner in, I'd say roughly an hour or so. Well, I will be right back, and I will have one of the servers will bring you a drink.
I'd like to ask, how far away from Halid is our table?
I'd say probably around 20 feet.
He was not nice to my friend, and I wish to fuck with him. So I'm finding some ways.
If he keeps treating that goblin the way he's treating that goblin, Miklik's gonna have some things to say to him without words.
I feel like this goblin's Dobby, especially with your voice. I'm thinking Dobby from Harry Potter, and I want to give him like a sock. You're free now.
You're free.
So yeah, I guess as we drink, is there any more interaction between Finnick and the guy?
A holiday occur? Well, there's going to be a couple of other things here that's going to go on as well. There's a woman comes up and she's got, what is it, 5 mugs of ale? Everybody got one and Vorn got 2?
Yep.
Okay. She comes up with the 5 mugs of ale and places them down. Just here you are, masters. Is there anything else I can get you before dinner starts?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Wonderful. Enjoy your drinks. And she scurries off.
So about this Halid fellow, he sure wasn't nice to you, Miklik.
Mean man. Mean long shanks.
We shall have to see how that progresses over the night.
There's a couple of more people as you guys are talking. Some farmers, it looks like, start trailing in and going up to the bar and
really quick, very importantly.
Oh, yeah.
How is the turnip ale?
Oh, it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, I assume so.
Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting.
I take one sip, retch, and I push it back over to Vorn.
I definitely grab that. Like turnip ale.
Now you have
Fuck
3, my friend.
Yeah, I'll drink some turnip ale.
Commonly called shelgum juice.
I probably made some myself.
Shelgum juice.
Did you just look that up online?
Yep.
Shelgum juice. Well, you guys get to serve some shelgum juice.
That sounds even worse.
Or
It
turnip
really
juice
does.
or turnip water.
Those all
Probably.
I'm imagining it's gray.
What other color would it be? Right?
No,
Have
it's
a little bit of a
bright
red
red.
tint.
It's bright red.
Oh, is it?
It's from Turkish. It's from Turkey.
I feel like I'm like a turnip ale like snob, and I'll swish a little around in my mouth like I'm taste testing it. I'm like, not fermented enough, and I'll go to the counter and try to give them some tips on how to make better turnip ale.
Dalma's like, okay. But do you have, hold on a second, do you have any crafting?
I do.
You do, you have crafting. Make a crafting check for me.
Do you have craft alchemy?
There's just crafting.
Yeah, it's not
It is just crafting, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. You don't get any alchemical effects from booze. No, usually.
18 is my total.
Okay. Dalma goes, oh my goodness, yes. She grabs a notepad and she starts scribbling things down. Oh, why, thank you very much for one.
And I'm still, heavily drinking the 3 mugs I have now.
Just like slamming one, giving a tip, and then slamming another one. You finish all 3 before you're done, and she goes, oh, thank you so much. Vaughn, right? Yes, Vaughn?
Yes.
That's very, very helpful. I'm sorry that the turnip water isn't to your tastes. I will definitely take in some tips and Here's another 2 mugs for you, since you seem to be enjoying it so much.
You trying to get me drunk? You're trying to get me drunk.
No way.
I
Never.
accept, and I immediately chug one of them and walk back with all the rest.
Oh, man.
I'd say Miklik spills probably as much of it on himself, just like drinking it, than he actually drinks.
I feel like chugging that one would probably clean my face up a little bit because it's dripping, washing the blood off my face.
You get in your bath, right?
But it's red, so it looks the same anyway.
More farmers are starting to roll in, and Halad sits at his table, and he just he stands up, and he knocks over the mug of ale. It's empty, but it hits the floor, and the pewter mug it just hits the floor, and he strolls off, and he struts over to the door, and he's like shoulder bumping people on his way out. This guy's just a prick.
I really wish I could do something to this guy right now.
But Hollywood leaves. And after Hollywood leaves, a couple of more people go in. You're not seeing anybody really from the wagon train. There's only 2, and it's the twins. You guys haven't really met the twins, but they're 2 Northmen from they're Ulfin men. And they're kind of like the pranksters. They're always got like a smile on their faces. They're always dicing. They're constantly pulling tricks on people and trying to get them to, confuse their names. Their names are Ulf and Ulf.
All right, then. They sound like my kind of fellows, though.
As they get back, there's another farmer that's in, and it's starting to get pretty busy in here now. The closer to dinner that we're getting, and I'm going to show you a picture of the farmer here. This farmer walks in. He's got a light look. He's got kind of a square chin, the small pointy nose, and high cheekbones, and he just kind of looks like he's listening to beautiful music, and he just kind of looks high. Dude looks baked.
He has a very strange expression on his face. Does he?
And we're seeing him at a very strange angle.
Yeah.
It looks like he's drooling.
He comes in, and Ulf and Ulf see him, and they go, "Hey, Ellum!" And Ellum's like, "Oh, the twins. Let's go dice in the corner, yes." And they kind of like stumble back, like, how are these guys drunk already? But they are. And they get back, and the server Trin, she goes over to them, and she brings them 9 mugs.
For the 2 of them?
For the 3 of them.
Oh.
And they start dicing in the corner. They're not. How is the ride? Yes, it's not very comfortable doing the wagons all day. And Ellum, how are the fields? They're turnips. Turnips are turnips. And they dice, and they're having fun in the corner. There's a kind of a man who looks. All right, imagine you're in the city, and you see a guy who's wearing a nice business suit. But his hair's all fucked up, his tie is undone, his cuff is undone, and he looks like he's just fucking tanked, right? There's this guy, Sir Lauren Krent. He's dirty. He looks like he's been wearing the same clothes for weeks, probably. And he just, like, gets in a chair, and he leans back, like, way back. Like, he looks like he's probably just going to fall off of his chair at any second. But he just puts his feet up on the table and leans way back, and he looks really morose. And
we are getting a whole cast of characters here.
We are getting a lot of people. And anybody that gets like close to our table, Miklik stops them and says his usual, "Me, Miklik, who are you?" and flashes them their grin.
Okay.
It's just anybody that comes close to the table.
You'll end up getting. Do you do the same people multiple times?
No.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Your server Trin, she's just tickled fucking pink by you. She said, "Oh, you're so adorable. My name is Trin. Did you want another drink, Miklik?"
Yes. Drink.
Drink. Yes. Anybody else?
Do you have any water?
We have water. Yes.
I'll take a water then.
Okay. We do have a stronger drink, if you'd like.
And that might be?
The heavily distilled turnips.
I was gonna say, it's still turnips.
I would like some water.
I shall sample the heavily distilled turnips. Bring me 3.
Oh, really? May I suggest 2? Or just 1?
I'll take 2.
Okay. 2, yes. And she leaves, and she's, as she kind of goes around, there's some farmers, like, smacking her on the ass as she goes through, and, ooh, boys, please. Things are starting to get a little rowdy.
We don't take kindly to that casual misogyny here.
Yeah,
I'm not
not
going
a towner.
Never mind.
Not a towner. Shut up. There's a lot of what for and rumbling about. After not too long, Bort comes back, and he kind of, you see him walk into the common room, and he's looking around, and he sees you. He goes back to a table. Hey, gentlemen, how was your drink?
To be honest, quite terrible.
Yes, it is all pretty good, pretty terrible. But when all you do is fart turnips, what else are you supposed to do with them? Eat turnips? No, you drink the turnips too.
Why do they have so many turnips round here? Do you know, friend?
No, it's just the thing that the soil takes to best here. No idea why. I never bothered to ask.
Well, let's hope the food's a little bit better then.
The food. The food is mediocre, yes. Nothing better than mediocre in food. He's big and boisterous and he laughs. Yes. It's time for the meal, right? No? Not yet? Okay. Trin, come. I'll take one of your famous ales. And she goes away, and yes, of course, boy. Just then, the kitchen lady comes out and goes, Finnick, I need your help. Yes, mistress. And Finnick dashes off and back into the kitchen. Shortly afterwards, everybody gets a couple more drinks in them. Bort is starting to get prepared for the meal. Yes. I found out what the menu is going to be tonight. We're going to do wild game, roasted turnips, with a side of burnt seed cake, coupled with watery turnip ale, of course.
I believe I'll just couple mine with water if it's all the same.
Aye, you do what you will. Tell me, Plum, where are you from?
Oi, I was born on the waves. The water flows through my blood. The sea's where I belong.
Well, what are you doing out here?
I'm a wanderer. I travel. Sometimes to reach the next sea, I've got to go across the land.
Aye, that you too. How about you? Half-orc.
Oh, me?
Yeah? Where are you from?
From over there. And I just kind of point in the direction we came from.
He looks. Because that's where we came from.
Yeah. I was bored. I saw a wagon going by, and I jumped on.
Aye. Yes. I took some of your copper.
Yeah, they charged me eventually. As soon as they figured out I was on the wagon,
it took us a few days, but yes, we.
They made me give them some of those brown-looking things I found. I plan on going back eventually, back over there, and back there.
Aye. Well, we always are. We go back and forth on this road very often. You can come back with us on the return trip. Are you just out to see the sights?
I like nature. Wanted to see if there's more nature over here. There is. Never been over here.
Aye, there is. Yes, indeed. Well, fantastic. How about you, little one, Miklik, yes?
Yes.
Where are you from?
Home?
Specific?
My home.
Very specific. Tell me, what do you do? You're a very well-spoken goblin. I ain't met a well-spoken goblin before. I've killed ye on the road. Some others like ye. And they come and raid my caravan.
Happens.
I'll bet you get a fair share of humans too, though, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Just get all sorts of bandits on the road. Well, not me personally. I hire people to do that for me. But, yes, very frequently. Well, how about you, Daru?
I'm on a pilgrimage of sorts from Magnamar.
Aye. Magnamar. That's a ways away. Yeah, almost off to the east. Yeah, beautiful city. I've been to Magnamar several times. In fact, while I was there, I did get a chance on my way, and you'll find this tough to believe, but I met the Kyner Zarn on my way to Magnamar. What do you say about that?
It's a famous man.
I would say that Magnamar is not really east of anything, my friend, and I think you're full of shit.
West. Right. West. You think I'd know my directions better, being that I'm on the road so frequently, huh?
I pull out my compass and say, it always helps to know where you're going and where you're going from.
I feel like at this point, Vorn's like, "What's magma bar?" Just like drops face first into the table.
Oh, that's
I've been drinking so much.
He's not even going to get his food. Don't worry. If it gets cold when you wake up, I can warm it up with magic.
Oh, that's so nice.
He saved my life with a heal. That's the least I can do.
After a little bit of talking with Bort, they start bringing out the first course. In fact, you see, they start bringing out the meal to a lot of different of the people sitting at the bars. The meal is very bland. I mean, lots of turnips. The wild game is actually pretty good.
If my food is very bland, I will spend a round casting Prestidigitation to spice it a little bit better.
Bort looks over and he goes, "What you doing there?"
I'm using magic to make the food better. Would you like to try?
Yes, please. Yes, please, very much.
And I do so.
And he takes a bite and, Okay, don't tell Amora, because I never seen a woman so picky about whether or not her food was done right. One time I asked her to not put onions in the roasted turnips, and she yelled at me for trying to change her perfect meal. I'm just a paying customer who doesn't want onions on his turnips. Amora comes out of the kitchen, and she looks at Bort and gives him the fucking eyes. She's just like, "Don't fucking talk about me, Bort." She hears it.
Hearing.
I bet she does. I think it's possible that the servers go and tell her as soon as it happens because they like seeing her get mad at patrons.
I can see why that would be fun.
That's just my guess. See, it's not exactly very exciting in town. What else are you supposed to do? To piss off the cook?
I wouldn't mind going and pissing off that Halid character. He sure was an asshole.
Oh, I don't have much experience with Halid, but the only thing I know is that people don't like him. It's quite the bully in town. Well, let me regale you with one of my stories. If I don't get to hear much about your adventures, if you got some inspiration from hearing me, you please chime in. Once, when me and the caravan were traveling through the Five King Mountains, we were captured by a fire giant. He had grabbed us all up and knocked us over the heads, and he pulled us all into his lair, and he tied us up above the giant cook pot that he had boiling with oil. And as we were being lowered into the kettle, I tricked the fire giant. I said, "Oi, wait, we don't taste very good on our own. But I know of a very rare plant that we can use in your soup that'll make it taste so much better. It's called frost bloom, and it's quite spicy." And the fire giant was very interested. I had him go and fetch some of the frost bloom that I had in my wagons. And when he tasted the spice, it froze his mouth shut. And I was able to cut my crew down from over the kettle and escape in the confusion. I have met some very, very precarious situations in my time on the road.
Well, that certainly is quite the tale. Sounds like you had quite the odyssey.
Aye, yeah, Odyssey. The Hufflin's funny.
Me, myself, sometimes I'm more of a Homer.
I'm out.
Terrible.
We start talking in ancient Greek literature, and Spencer's like, "Nope, fuck this."
It's definitely just a ripoff from Odysseus' Cyclops.
Oh, that reminds me. One day, when me and the caravan were crossing the waters of the lake in Carthon, our boat was set upon by a mighty storm, and the ship capsized. The sea took me and the crew. We found ourselves at the shores of the lake, in front of the Lady of Graves herself, Pharasma, about to be judged. But the storm brought with it all of the furious winds, and her hair was being tossed about all over left and right, and she couldn't focus because her hair was being tossed about so much by the storm winds. And I felt bad for her. So I said, "Milady, please take the silver comb to comb your hair." And she took it as she combed her hair. She was so thankful that she delivered me and the crew back on the shores of the lake, alive and well. What would you say about that?
I'm going to go see if my bath is ready. You friends have a good time.
We'll have a great time. And Darren, after Bort's just telling all these crazy fucking tales, like, huh, what? No way. Like, everything is him getting into just fantastic danger and then just suddenly magically escaping through some heroic deed of his own. Seems a little unbelievable. But just as Plum's going to get up, and suddenly everybody needs to give me a perception check real quick.
Does Vorn get one?
We're just going to take a circumstance penalty of a -2 on his.
I accept that. Mistakes were made.
Fuck, he's so drunk.
I get a 20.
Miklik also gets a 20.
Plum gets a 7.
Vorn?
23.
You
Minus
drunk
7.
ass got a 23?
I'm a wisdom-based character. I have a +7.
He's hypersensitive when he's drunk.
Oh, man. Just toward the end of the meal here, and they're actually just starting to bring out dessert, which is a warm turnip porridge. And actually, Bort loves the turnip porridge. It's his favorite part about coming here. And just as this big giant bowl of porridge gets set down in front of him, all of a sudden, Miklik, Vorn, and Daru see the mail waiter, who you guys haven't really had a chance to meet yet, but kind of bumps into Farmer Elam. You remember Farmer Elam was the farmer who came in and started drinking with the twins from the caravan and dicing in the back?
Yes.
And he bumps into Farmer Elam, and the glass breaks and hits, and all of a sudden the bar is just silent. And Farmer Elam, if you look over, as the glass was spilled, he's got just ale covering his overalls. And he looks at stands up and starts yelling at Conroll, the server. And they got it all over my overalls. What? Why? Now I'm all wet. How am I supposed to dice and have a good time with my friends while I'm all wet? And all of a sudden, the twins stand up and they're like, yeah, how is he supposed to dice when he's wet, huh? And the server's like putting his hands up and backing off, and he backs into another person who turns around and just stares knives at this guy. And then as the server turns back to the farmer rears back and just boom, fucking clocks him right in the face. And he goes down, and suddenly the entire bar just erupts. There's glasses being knocked over everywhere, and farmers are starting to punch each other. There's a brawl that's broken out. We're rolling for initiative.
Smiles.
I was gonna say I
He
joined.
smiles so big.
I'm shit-faced. I'm joining in.
Let's roll initiatives. We're just going to do exceptions for everybody.
Aren't you unconscious?
14.
14 for Daru. How about Miklik?
23.
Plum?
12.
And Vorn.
Also 12. I probably
I'm
take a
on virus.
minus for being shit-faced, though.
Sounds like a Looney Tunes song in the back now.
I kind of thought it was a little interesting. I think it's supposed to be, it's not a deadly brawl.
Yeah.
A bunch of farmers in a tiny town just starting to punch each other.
I have 6 HP. It's a deadly brawl.
We didn't heal you up.
No.
Ow.
Ow.
Nobody heal him.
Nope, nobody healed.
Nobody healed at
Whoops.
all.
I have 1 heal spell left. I'm not wasting that.
I mean, all we had to do is take a 10-minute thing, and I could have kept healing it.
Wow.
You could have healed us all the way back.
Why didn't you?
I thought you healed them. You're the healer. I'm just a paladin. Sorry, a redeemer.
I am a druid.
Alright, well, if anyone gets knocked unconscious, I'll hook him up.
Thanks, man.
The whole place is just, like I said, just erupting. And some of the farmers look eager. Like, this is their entertainment. They're having a good time. And they're just like, punching each other in the face. Miklik, you go first. We're doing a theater of the mind here, so we don't have a map right now. I'll tell you a few things about the bar. The entire bar is difficult terrain. There's knocked over chairs, broken glasses, and the place where the brawl started is about 30 feet away from you all. And that's where Farmer Elam and the two twins, Ulf and Ulf, are fighting back there. So, Miklik, what do you do?
I'm trying to figure out if I would have the ability to rage but still do non-lethal damage. I don't know if that that doesn't seem like that would work.
Not for you specifically, because your rage puts your fists as lethal weapons.
Oh, but you can do non-lethal damage with lethal weapons by taking a -2 to attack.
That's how it was in 1E. Is it the same thing here?
Yep.
It is.
Yep. Weapons with the non-lethal trait do this automatically. You can take a -2 circumstance penalty to the attack roll when you make a non-lethal attack using a weapon that does not have the non-lethal trait.
Okay, so you could rage, take a -2, and just start punching.
I think that's what Miklik does.
All right.
Yeah. One action to rage, and then I'm assuming a minimum a step or a stride to move up to someone that's already engaged in the battle. He's not just going to start swinging at random people.
Sure. If you're looking for somebody who's engaged in the battle, it's a lot of hubbub by where you are. Like a lot of people like shifting out of the way, maybe, or ducking out of flying mugs. But the real, like the dirty fist fighting is happening about 30 feet away from you in the back corner.
He's headed straight for the mosh pit. He's going right in.
Right for the mosh pit. You're gonna have to take 2 strides to get back there
2 strides to get that far?
because it's difficult terrain. Yes.
Well, then he will stride twice.
And then that's your turn because
That is my turn because I raged.
Farmer Elam, he just does a big comedic, like, winding up of the fist, and he goes to punch somebody and just totally whiffs and falls over and hits the table. The twins are just kind of sitting back and throwing mugs. One of the mugs comes right at Plum, actually. Plum, does a 4 hit you?
Well, no.
I already know it doesn't. All right. Then it's going to be Daru's turn.
They were aiming for someone taller.
Does it look like my friend Plum here is anything interested in this fight?
Oh, God, no.
Okay. Yeah, I go over to Plum, and I just kind of stand in front of him and just security guard thing. I'm not interested in fighting anybody. That's not what I'm here for. I'm just, and if I see anybody that looks like they don't want to be here, I help them too.
Okay. So Daru just kind of like goes and stands in front of Plum, folds his arms, and one of the farmers comes up and he looks like he's about to punch you.
He wouldn't want to do
He
that.
stops, he puts his fist down. He goes and turns and punches the guy next to you. Yeah. Next, Plum, it's your turn.
So first thing, I look around. I can make a perception check. I'm looking for a good place to hide, perhaps a table to get under, perhaps under the table that we're currently sitting at. Would that be
Between my legs?
yes, or between? I'd make a perception check to try and find the best nearby hiding place. I get a 13.
By sheer virtue of Daru standing in front of you, your best bet is to go under the table next to Daru's legs.
So I spend one action to make a stride and do that, and then I spend my third and final action to hide. Now, the way this works is you would make a secret roll with my stealth check and also make the rolls for any enemies in the area to see if they would see me. That seems like work for you, Mr. DM. But
yes, it is. But that's okay. The way that we do secret rolls in this group, because this is a new thing, we use Fantasy Grounds, actually, to play our games. And Fantasy Grounds has this really cool feature where you can put a dice tower at the bottom right of the playfield. And what David's going to do is he's going to make his modifier adjustment, drop that dice into the dice tower, and I get to see what he rolled.
And I do not, nor does anyone else.
It is a secret roll. This is also something that happens when you're, like, saying, trying to recall knowledge. You make secret rolls. There's a couple of other skill checks you make secret rolls for. Put a little more power back in the GM's hand. I kind of like it, to be honest with you.
All right, I made my secret roll.
That being said,
Then my turn.
Plum just skitters underneath the table next to where Daru and hides next to his legs. Vorn, you're up.
So Vorn is still quite drunk.
Is there a condition we can put on you that'll help? Like,
I was just looking. I
Oh, that's a
can't seem to find
good question.
anything, though. They haven't taken into account drunk people yet in this game.
can we do sickened? Let's do sickened.
What's that do?
No. You take a status penalty equal to your sickened value on all your checks and DCs. You also can't willingly ingest anything, including elixirs and poisons. And potions. I suppose poisons, too, while sickened. You can spend a single action retching in an attempt to recover.
Wait, does that mean like I'm retching throwing up my alcohol I
I guess.
If you chose to do
No,
that,
no,
you could
I-
just
no.
just fight through the sickened.
No,
keep it in you,
first
right?
off, yeah, Vorn's not going to do that. Vorn's
Okay.
loving what's happening. For his first action, he's going to grab a fucking turnip off the table and start devouring it. He's laughing his ass off, and he's drunk enough and doesn't really know how to hold back. He's going to fire an electric arc into the crowd.
Oh, shit. Go ahead and make a spell attack roll.
I don't. You have to give me reflex saves for 2.
I just want to throw. I think it might be more accurate if our half orc was stupefied.
Oh, let me see. Are we changing conditions on him?
Your thoughts and instincts are clouded.
Oh, yeah, that sounds right.
But this is a little bit different, and it's going to affect what he's doing because it affects magic. Stupefied always includes a value. You take a status penalty equal to this on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma-based checks and DCs, including will saving throws, spells, attack rolls, and spell DCs, and skill checks that use those abilities.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Anytime you attempt to cast a spell while stupefied, the spell is disrupted unless you succeed a flat DC equal to it's 5 plus your stupefied value.
I like this. I
That's
like this.
perfect. That's perfect.
So
We're gonna
first-
do stupefied,
first
and I'm
action,
gonna make your stupefied 2.
stupefied.
So in order to cast the spell, you have to roll a d20 and get a 7 or higher.
That's an 8.
Oh, just barely.
That goes off. 2 reflex saves.
Oh,
My DC drops by 2 also, you said, right?
Yeah.
So it's a
yeah,
15 instead of a 17.
15 instead of a 17.
Yeah.
Vorn just like reaches at the table, just takes a giant chunk out of a turnip, and, and he just
That's just arc of
zaps into the
lightning.
crowd.
Just leaps from one person to the next.
Oh god. They failed so bad. You hit 2 drunken farmers and give me your damage on
I'm
it.
not sure Swanee's shaking his head or Mick
6 damage.
Miklik's already gone.
6 damage as 2 farmers, and they both fall and hit the floor.
I'm still loving it. Still eating my turnip.
All right. Then after Vorn, back to the top of the order, Miklik, it's your turn, and you're right up in back where the twins and Farmer Elam are. Farmer Elam's on the ground now, and he's like trying to get up, and he's having a hard time. But there's like 3 or 4 dudes that are fighting right near you.
Oh, I will start swinging at them, but not to try to kill them. We're just having a good old fashioned fun brawl here.
having a brawl. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
So -2. So that's 14 to hit.
14
You know, to hit
hits.
an unarmored farmer.
Yep, 14 hits. Actually, interestingly enough, durable farm clothes counts as padded armor.
Oh, I deal him 7 damage.
Is that what you're doing? The 1 strike? Miklik just like
That is 1 strike. I kind of assumed he'd go down from that, but
I was good. He didn't actually, but where are you punching him?
I'm short. I'm punching him right in the gut. Just
And you get him right there.
I'll
He's
swing at him again.
All
Swing
right.
at him again. I mean, if he's still standing, well, does it look like the fight goes out of him? I mean, maybe I can't tell from just that quickly.
You really can't tell that quickly, no.
I'm just gonna. I was actually probably gonna miss it because I'm at a -7 right now. Because that's a 5 on the die, so that's a 5 total. So
Yeah, 5 will not hit.
I'll try one more time, just because we're having fun here.
You can always exit 20, right?
Not 20. We got 19
On the die?
That's on the die. So 26 minus 12 gets me a 14.
14 hits.
So we will punch him for another 1 on the die. 7 damage.
All right.
hit him twice for minimum damage.
Miklik goes up and just sucks this guy right in the gut, and he
And the second one's gonna be like right into his kneecap.
he bends over, and then he gets kneecapped, and he falls to the ground. and he passes out.
So when under the death rules, it does point out that if you go to 0 based on from subdual damage,
Mhm.
from lethal damage, you do not gain the dying condition. You are instead just unconscious with 0 hit points.
That's correct. Yes, I did look that up because I knew this fight was coming.
We're not all trying to murder farmers.
Well, Vorn is, but we'll get to that.
Thorn doesn't know better.
Vorn's kind of a social idiot. One of the farmers that's next to you, Miklik, is going to look down at you and go, "Hey!" And he's going to swing at you. And he's going to get a 7.
No.
And then he's going to pick up a chair and he's going to try to crack it over your head. Ooh. He gets 17.
Because I'm raging, 17 is my AC.
Yeah! After the multiple attack penalty, he ends up getting it. You take 8 points of non-lethal bludgeoning damage from this chair just getting cracked over your big, bulky, melon-sized head.
Miklik does not look good.
After that, it's Daru's turn. Daru, can you give me a perception check?
16.
You see, just shortly after the fight started, the proprietor of the establishment. You met her earlier.
Delma Vast.
Delma, yes, Delma Fulst. She is like fighting through the crowd, and she gets to the front door and she runs outside.
Okay.
But
Probably a safe place for her.
what are you gonna do on your turn?
First, I'm gonna just yell at fucking Vorn.
Okay.
Be like, no magic!
That
And
makes
no,
sense.
you don't have a weapon either. I was gonna say no swords or anything.
I don't have a. I could go beat them with a shield.
Let's go shield bash somebody.
The 2 villagers, do they look dead?
They look like they hit the ground out of shock. Yeah. Anybody? No one? Come on. And they're crawling towards
Okay,
the door.
so they're alive.
They're alive. They're okay. They've taken some lethal damage, obviously, but they're alive. Yes.
This
They're
is
crawling to the
definitely
door.
a little bit offhand, but I just noticed medicine in 2E actually can restore hit points.
Oh, it's actually a fantastic way to heal up.
Yeah, it's really good. But you need a healer's kit. But okay, I don't know if people are running outside. That's good. They don't want to be in the fight anymore. I'll just stand my ground for this round at least.
Daru still stands, looks menacing. Nobody's fucking with Daru. Nobody wants to punch. What are you wearing for armor?
Chainmail.
Nobody wants to punch chainmail. Come on, they're a bunch of farmers. After Daru, Plum, you're up. As you're on the ground,
I think they hit pretty hard.
as you're hitting the ground, you see those 2 farmers who got hit by Vorn static. They're like crawling away. One of them looks at you and his eyes are wide, and he's crawling away.
All right, so I know that Vorn is nearby to me. Who's nearby Vorn, if anybody?
Daru's technically pretty close to Vorn. Otherwise, the farmers have actually opened up quite a space around Vorn. They don't want to fuck with him.
That makes sense. In
fact, there's a decent chunk of the crowd near you guys that's pushing towards the back to get away from Vorn.
Okay. And how many people are around Miklik, would you say?
You've lost Miklik. You can't see him anymore.
Probably right from the ground. So I don't want Vorn killing anybody. I will cast grease at his feet. And an area around him that is not going to affect my friend Daru. So, Vorn, you need to give me a reflex save of, it's going to be 17 or fall prone.
We're in the first session. We're already rolling against each other. This is fantastic.
Or you can do an acrobatics check. Acrobatics check as well.
I'll take reflex save. Mine's better. I rolled a 3 though. I ended up with a 9.
You are prone, sir.
I mean,
Okay, hold on.
I'm sitting at the table.
You can't. Oh, maybe.
Sitting at the table? I thought you were standing.
No, I never stood up. I'm sitting at the table. I was eating a turnip. I never stood. I grabbed the turnip and then I cast it as well.
You slid off the table or off the off your seat.
I greased
You greased the chair. You slid off the chair and onto the ground.
As long as I'm still holding onto my turnip, I'm cool with it.
Kind of like does this number. Oh, it slides down. Oh, fuck. This is great.
Okay. I am done now.
Okay, then after Plum, we're going back to Vorin. Vorin, you're like, maybe you shit yourself or something? You're all wet. It's weird.
Warren doesn't know what the fuck is happening right now. How big is this room or this tavern?
I would say it's probably about, maybe 50 feet wide, 40 to 45 feet deep.
Would you say there's still a decent amount of people within 30 feet of me all the way?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. Voren's loving this. Still doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Takes a bite of his turnip and he's like, more fun! And he's like slamming the ground. And I'm gonna use a 3-action heal.
That's fantastic.
I think I'm still stupefied, so flat check of
DC 7.
7.
Yep.
That's an 18, so that's easy, and D8 to everybody within 30 feet of me.
It's like everybody in the room, man.
Hopefully it's the 2 people I electrocuted.
Yeah, they're in that.
Everyone gets 3.
I like how you're seeing people like get beat up, and you're like, well, if I heal them, the fight will go on forever.
It'll keep happening, more fun.
So just to be clear, who all got this healing?
Everybody within 30
Everybody.
feet.
I'm just gonna say everybody got it.
There's no cap on it. All living creatures.
Just making sure Miklik got it, because he
Miklik
needed
the
some
guy.
hit points.
Nick, like the guy that you ended up knocking out, he ends up waking up next to you, and he looks at you and his eyes go wide, and he uses all 3 of his actions to crawl away from you. All right,
Okay.
Nicklick, it is your turn.
Okay, so he's going to look at the guy that hit him with the chair,
Mm-hmm.
and he is going to just let out this roar at him. And he's going to make a demoralize check to demoralize him.
Okay.
Normally you wouldn't be able to do while raging, but I took as my barbarian feat, I took raging intimidation, which gives the demoralize ability the rage trait, which allows me to use it while raging.
Fantastic.
So I just have to remember, what did we decide? It's a I have to attempt an intimidation check against the target's will DC.
His will DC. Okay, so go ahead and make your check. His will DC is 12.
Well, I rolled an 11 on the die, so I get a 17.
Definitely demoralized. So when he's demoralized, what does that do, Swanee?
Because it was a success, he remains frightened 1 for 10 minutes. Or no, just not 10 minutes, just he becomes frightened 1. So I just wanted to demoralize him before I punched him.
Take a status penalty equal to this value to all your checks and DCs.
So, no, I'll try to swing at him. The -2, 13 to hit.
13 hits.
Okay, we will see if we can do a little more damage than the last couple rolls. Says 12 damage.
12 damage.
Non-lethal.
Holy shit. You knock this guy straight on his ass. You knock him out right away. You just knock. I'm assuming you're going for another gut punch. It's the best thing.
Oh yeah.
Fight.
Yeah.
You knock all the wind out of him, and he just hits the ground.
Is there anybody else next to me?
Yeah, there's another guy next to you.
Oh, we're going for that guy too.
All right.
Set him up, knock him
Oh,
down.
I rolled a 2. That's not going to hit, so I'll miss on that last one.
Definitely. All right, then after Miklik, it's Daru. Daru, do you continue staying steadfast?
How far away is Miklik?
About 30 feet away from you.
I just want to like pick him up by the hair and just like. No,
You can probably just palm his head.
yeah, right.
Jeez, right?
And I think Warren's maybe a little bit better now. I'm still just gonna yell at him to just stop because I feel like he has no clue what he's doing. He didn't even know he healed people. He thought it was damage. Just sternly talking to the half-orc, and I'll be done.
All right, then after Daru, Plum, do you do anything else?
Oh gosh, sure, why not? What other fun could we have? No.
Fireball.
One thing. Hold on, real quick.
Fireball.
Fireball.
I just kind of want to have fun. Nope, that's a lot of damage. Nope. Nah. I don't want to hurt anyone.
Nope, that's a lot of damage. Never mind.
Yeah, we're going to leave that out.
All right, then after that, it is Vorn's turn. The dangerous Vorn.
It's unpredictable.
He's having so much fun.
We'll shock you one round and heal you the next.
Can you guys guess what my alignment is?
Chaotic neutral?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, he's going to keep eating his turnip, and at this point, he realizes he no longer has a drink in his hand. He's going to try to crawl back to the table to grab his drink.
Yes. With the grease spell, you may either step or crawl if you are prone. Your crawl is going to be 5 feet for each action.
Vorn, give me a perception check.
Okay. Do I take minuses for stupefy on that?
Is it a wisdom?
It won't matter. I rolled a nat 20.
Oh, okay, yeah, you definitely succeed.
Like 27 would...
You're a drunk savant.
Yeah, no shit, right? You see there is, like, real close by to you, one of the farmers who decided he's farther away from where it all started, but he's decided he's going to jump in. This looks like fun. He drops his mug of ale, and it lands flat on the floor, and all the ale kind of gushes up in a little fountain, and then lands right back in the mug, and it's like 10 feet away.
It looks magical to me, and it's a sign, and I'm crawling straight for it. 2 actions to crawl to it, 3rd action to fucking chug it. That's my round.
Put it down. Oh man. So a couple of other people, they're throwing fists, and all of a sudden the front door just slams open, and you hear this, "What is the meaning of this?" And everybody goes quiet. Like everybody stops in the middle of what they're doing.
And on my back on the floor with a mug over my head.
Vorn's the only one who's still doing anything. He's just chugging on the ground. This person, he looks like he's probably law enforcement in town.
He has some very elegant mutton chops. Those are the most elegant mutton chops ever.
They look pretty good, man. They really do. By the way, his badge of office, do you see that?
That's a turnip.
A little turnip on his badge.
I like how it looks like the Mario turnips.
It does.
Hello, Mr. Turnip King.
He's looking around, and he's like, "Every other week, guys! Come on! Who did it this time?" And a lot of the farmers is like go point back straight to Elam, who's finally standing up, and he's like, "What are y'all pointing at me for?" "Oh, fuck. It's Rolf. Come on back, Rolf." And Rolf just kind of like goes through the crowd. "Just sit down, people. Take your seats. Take your seats. Finish your meal. Thank you. Thank you.
Watch out for the grease.
The sheriff falls on his ass, and who did that? No, I'm just kidding. He goes back to talk to Elam and the twins and a couple of the farmers that are back there. He looks down at Miklik, and he goes, "You're new."
Miklik just smiles at him.
"Oh, you're having a great time in this too, aren't you?"
He just nods.
"Well, why don't you have a seat next to dipshit 2 here?" And he points at Elam. So, what Rolf's gonna do here? He's just scolding these guys. Just like every other week, we have to mend broken noses. We've got to we have farmers going out because they got broken collarbones and shit like that. This just can't do this, guys. And you're new in town. The first thing you do, you see a bar fight, you jump right into it.
He just nods.
Ugh. While all that's happening, back over there, Bort, he goes, that was quite the scene,
It was certainly something to behold.
It usually happens when we come into town. They love having the bar fights here. I mean, let's be honest. What else are they going to do?
I don't know. Build some infrastructure, perhaps some entertainment.
Oh, you're funny. He starts eating his dessert. And he's like, this is really good. Starts eating it. Vorn, what are you doing?
Vorn would be greased up, passed out on the floor.
Vorn's finally passed out.
Sounds right. Sounds right.
Covered in grease.
What about you, Daru?
I'm just making sure everyone's okay. Picking up people that fell on the ground, just like, that's about it.
Bort's just kind of like, the last time I was here. Sorry, something in my throat. Last time I was here, we got into a real big scuffle, and Elam over there started that one too. Oh, he loves getting the starts on the bar fights.
What are you doing over there, Arthur Morgan?
So it's 1 second. Oh, sorry. It's something. Something's. And he falls off of his chair.
Heimlich!
He's on the ground and he's clawing at his throat.
I don't have the medicine skill.
I gotta. If I have a time to run over to him.
I have it, but I'm
Passed out.
Then leave it to the champion.
Daru runs over to him, yeah?
And I notice him scratching his throat. I might know the Heimlich. We'll try. I got a 19 with a 1 wisdom, so 20.
Medicine check?
Yeah.
You notice that Bort isn't choking on anything, but his windpipe has been swollen shut.
He's allergic to turnips.
You actually think that this looks like the side effect of could be some sort of poison.
Oh,
The porridge was poisoned.
the dessert.
If you would like, I will give you an extra medicine check to attempt to treat the poison.
Wait, maybe I missed something. It's Bort who's choking?
Yes.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was this Rolf guy.
No, he's back scolding Miklik and the other
The
farmers.
Turnip King. That's his
Yeah.
name now.
Turnip King?
Well, I'll attempt a blind, untrained medicine trained action. So maybe you can't even do this if you're not. Oh, I guess I don't have the healer's kit, so I'm just doing a basic medicine check.
Oh, if you don't, is treat poison an expert?
No, it just says these are medicine trained actions.
Yeah, so you have to be
Oh.
trained in medicine to do them.
The most I can do untrained is administer first aid.
Okay, so you could attempt to administer first aid, but I'll tell you about Bort's heels are drumming on the floor, and they're getting weaker
Somebody wake up Vorn.
and weaker.
Yeah, he's lost.
Anybody? No? Nobody's going to wake up Vorn?
I mean, I would have no clue he knows how he knows
Bort's-
medicine. I'd start asking around the villagers if any of the farmers can help this man.
There's a couple of as Bort collapsed, some of the people start standing up and gathering around to kind of see what happens, and people see Bort die, and the entire tavern just goes quiet.
A doctor! Anybody know? Is anybody here a doctor?
Can I do a perception check to hear them yelling this and shit happening?
I mean,
Sure.
Miklik's out.
I'm
Miklik's out.
passed out pretty hard,
You are probably passed out pretty hard.
but
But you've got a high wisdom.
let's not talk about that roll. That's a nat 1.
Well,
All
Bort's
right. After the people start gathering around, Delma pushes her way. What's going on? What's going on back here? Oh,
Seems to be poisoned.
Bort! And Rolf stops scolding the farmers, and he comes over and he goes, "This is a problem."
Thank you for joining us here on the MNmaxed podcast as we continue our adventures into the Fall of Plaguestone and Pathfinder Second Edition. All of the sounds you've heard today in this podcast were provided by Sirenscape. To get more from them, go to Sirenscape.com. You can find MNmaxed at any social media like Discord and Twitter at MNmaxed. That's MNmaxed. You can also find us on any of the major distribution platforms for podcasts. We'll see you next week, and until then, we hope you have many adventures of your own.